Hello and welcome to another episode of Weapons Wednesday. I'm Jonathan Bernstein, the museum's Arms and Armor Curator. Now when we think about World War I, we tend to think about trench warfare in France. But would you believe me if I told you that the first American shots of the First World War were fired on the other side of the world on the U.S. territory of Guam? One of the most spectacular pieces in our collection was present at this action and tells a pretty amazing story. Now first, let me give you a little background on a particular vessel in the Imperial German Navy. Now the Russian freighter Ryazan was built in Germany in 1909 with provisions to convert it to a warship in case of war. 5 years after her commissioning, with Russia and Germany on opposite sides of the war, the Ryazan was captured by the German cruiser SMS Emden and pressed into service with the German Pacific Fleet. She was renamed SMS Cormoran and armed with 8 10.5 centimeter Schnellladerkanonen, or fast-loading cannon, from her new namesake, the original cruiser Cormoran, which was disabled in the port of Qingdao. The new Cormoran spent the late summer and fall of 1914 interdicting Allied shipping in the Pacific until running low on coal in early December. The closest coaling station was on the neutral U.S. territory of Guam, and the Cormoran reached Guam's April Harbor on 14 December. However, with the war on and resupply schedules uncertain, the U.S. denied coal to the Cormoran, citing that the coal supply was only for U.S. flagged ships and that they were detaining the Cormoran for the duration of the war. The crew was allowed to come ashore, and for a while an uneasy peace reigned. However, when word reached Guam on 7 April 1917 that the U.S. had declared war on Germany, the American Governor-General moved to secure the Cormoran. The USS Supply blocked the entrance to the harbor, and a combined Marine Navy detachment embarked on 2 boats to notify the crew of the Cormoran that they were in fact prisoners of war and the ship was now in U.S. custody. Marines aboard one of the boats fired warning shots across the bow of one of the Cormoran's launches during their approach in order to get them to stop. These were the first American shots fired at German forces in World War I. But what does that have to do with our artifact? So this piece is an Abkomm Lauf Neue Artikel, a 10.5 centimeter subcaliber device, and it was aboard the SMS Cormoran that day. Now this training device was built around a Jägerbuchse 1871 rifle action and was chambered for the standard German 11mm by 60 Mauser round. This device would be placed into the gun tube and then secured to the breech. Then the ship's gunners could practice gunnery without firing any of the ship's precious live rounds and without any wear on the barrel's rifling. The bolt-action receiver was simple to work and allowed a steady rate of fire during training. And the ballistics on the 11mm round were similar enough to the 10.5 centimeter that the gun crews could effectively sight and engage targets with it. So what happened to the Cormoran? Well, her captain agreed that his crew would be taken prisoner, but said that the U.S. could not take possession of the ship. His crew planted explosives in the coal bunker and detonated them, sinking the vessel in mere minutes and taking the lives of 7 crewmen. The U.S. launches and the USS Supply rescued 370 members of the crew and eventually salvaged a fair amount of the weapons and equipment from the ship, including this subcaliber training device. The Cormoran's crew spent the remainder of the war in a POW camp in Utah, while the rest of the war on Guam passed without any major incident. If you like this and our other Weapons Wednesday videos, hit the subscribe button and check out more about the museum on our website and across social media.